Good Wednesday evening to you folks. Welcome to the show and some actual Let's Play Traveler this week. We are here. We are live. I, of course, am Bill Selby, a.k.a. the Dungeon Delver. And with us, we have the actual living, breathing Game Master. Please welcome my Antipodean co-host, the Viking Hat GM. Good evening. Good morning.
Hi, boys and girls. How you doing?
Doing just fine. And let's bring our current present players in. You know him, you love him from the Tuesday night game or the Wednesday night game. It depends on which end of the tube you're looking in. Say hello to TK.
Hey, all.
Not Sir Outlier. And the mysteriously edgily named Razor.
Greetings and solicitations, everyone.
And of course, what would this merry band of misfits be without our very own Tunkatod as Bubba, who had best have made a phone call today.
Phone calls were made, Mother. It's okay.
Good. I'll let you guys in on that if I have to. But anyway, so welcome back to the show. We're missing a couple of players right now, Sapphire and who else is
Tammy.
not here?
Tammy.
Yeah, thank you. So
Yeah.
Sapphire and
They should
Tammy.
be here in about 5 or so.
Excellent.
Awesome.
So last week we had, and I know this is an incredibly rare thing. This never happens in tabletop gaming. So if you witnessed it last week, you were probably shocked to the core. We had a scheduling boo-boo. I know, right? When does that ever happen in tabletop gaming? But we had a geek council conclave conference of nerdery and had a good time chit-chatting. But hey, you're here to watch Classic Traveler, and honestly, I don't blame you because it's a lot of fun. Because Kyle is an absolutely top-notch GM in all of the realms.
Sapphires are on the way. You just sent her the wrong link, Bill.
Did I send you the wrong link? My apologies. Like I said, snafus, they're just, you never hear of them. So anyway,
we've just got to pre-record and script things, and we can call ourselves Critical Real.
Well, I you know, you gotta tread that fine line between writing a trend and stepping on somebody else's IP. So
no, we'll just host from Russia or something, Russia or China, one of those countries that doesn't give a damn about copyright.
Right.
Host ourselves on the Pirate Bay.
All episodes, just put them up for torrent. Good evening, Sapphire. Good to see you.
And that
Thank you very much.
Stricken from YouTube.
Yeah, no kidding.
Right.
We're on Rumble and Minds now.
We will
It's all
get the
good.
players for the new viewers out there, and ones who might have forgotten because they watch so many of Bill's shows that they can't keep all the details straight. We'll get the players to give themselves a brief introduction of their characters, and then we'll pick a random one to give a brief overview of what happened in last season. Okay, so we'll go in order on my screen. Razor, Pinder.
All right. Quinda Budd, female, even though I'm a guy. 2 tours in the Marines. She loves guns. If you saw aliens, think Vasquez.
Okay, and Ricky.
Sure. I'm playing Linda. It kind of just worked out that way. Female, 22. I am an ex-merchantman. Kind of think of me as Rocket Raccoon. I enjoy guns, pointy things, and more importantly, using ship's blasters to, well, make really big things into really tiny things.
Okay, next, Bubba.
I'm Bubba, and I'm the guy you want with you when you go honky tonkin'.
That's about right.
All right, Bill.
He's a starship captain with 4 years of military experience who never met a quasi-legal money-making operation he didn't like. Let's say hello to Reggie Willie.
And Sapphire?
Yes, I am Jana Hansen. I am a 34-year-old scout. I am the engineer of the group, and we've got girl power going here. So
Once Tammy
there we
shows
go.
up.
Yeah, once Tammy
Once
shows
Tammy
up.
Yes.
We kind of adopt our other female character on occasion, but, you know, it's kind of a gray area, but we're good with it.
It's fine.
There are probably some female characters in the group that you feel have got kind of male souls, I guess.
It's cool. We support them.
I'd consider myself the trans of the group.
It's all good.
If we have Girl Scout power, does that mean I have to start making up and giving out merit badges to you people on the crew?
Oh, frick. That means I got to sell cookies too, doesn't it?
You got to sell something. Anyway.
But you're grown up, so what you put in the cookies is up to you. So
Thin mints are best frozen, by the way.
Agreed.
Yeah, before they melt first.
right, I rolled the dice. I rolled the dice, and Ricky gets to summarize what happened in the last season.
Oh Christ!
Okay.
All right. So, season 1 started out with 2 schmucks slashing a Jeep's tires, being lost in the middle of the wilderness after stealing a bunch of gold from a rocket ship, and we all ended up working for a crazy doctor lady who ultimately ended up getting us to said ship. We quite literally pissing in the local warlord stroke money makers stroke, I don't know, weapons of death merchants Toastios before taking off like a bat out of hell, landing on some Nazi regime planet and proceeding to leave that settlement here shortly. I think that about sums it up.
Addendum, though, not everybody was around for all of that, just part of it.
Very
Correct.
true.
Yeah,
Granted.
yeah. Bill and Tunk and Todd were there right from the beginning, so they got mustered out on this planet in the middle of nowhere. Because nowhere in the lovely classic traveler rules does it say where you get mustered out. If it's a place of your choosing or convenience.
It's
Same as
wherever
whenever-
the game master wants to start the game at.
Yeah, but you'll be together at least.
Yes.
Because otherwise it would be a bit boring. You're on 6 different planets on different sides of the sector. Your campaign is going to be to try to come together as a party. That would be very slow and boring. But I'm sure
Kind of like Misery. It's better shared, huh?
Yeah, it's very slow and boring. There, I was just glancing at the rules before as I did some NPCs. And speaking of miserable and boring, on the first page it says any number of people can participate in a campaign or scenario, although generally 40 players should be treated as a maximum.
Okay.
Somebody was a masochist when they wrote that one.
40
Optimum
players.
Games.
How long does a turn take to get everybody? Holy crike.
Hey, I'm having trouble with a 9-player table. That's bulky.
Speaking
My
of
personal
the
range
Nine
was
doesn't
11.
always show up, Gary. So you can't say 9 because not all of them always show up.
Speaking of
Our second half of the girl power is here, so she has to introduce herself.
That's right. That's
Oh,
right.
yes, quite
Bring
right.
us up to speed, Tammy. Tammy.
I'm literally jumping from off my work computer to here. So I'm still like,
Just switch the work computer off with no mercy.
yeah. Whew. But yes.
Give it some
definitely
sign
ready
language
to
and move on.
I'm definitely ready to play some Traveler.
Okay.
I've had that kind of a day.
Tell us
Tell us
about your
about
character.
Jane.
Because for
My
those who haven't been
character's
following the show.
name. Oh my goodness. We haven't played, and let me make sure I stay the right
Jane
character for the right
Jane
game.
Arquette.
Jane. Yes. Jane. The girl power. Yes. We like our girl power. And Jane wouldn't mind shooting some things tonight. You know.
And share
If you had a
what your
gun.
role is in the party and what you do on the ship.
Oh yeah, okay. That would be good instead of just wanting to shoot things. Yeah. My role in the party, I navigate.
You're the navigator, huh?
I'm a navigator, and I do have this great thing in electronics, and occasionally, but I haven't crashed any ships yet, navigating, so I'm pretty good.
The evening is still young.
Yeah.
Every landing you walk away from is a good one.
Exactly.
Okay, Crash McQueen.
Okay, I only blew up my own ship in only one game of yours, okay?
That was not as a navigator. That was
Okay,
something
yeah,
else
that was
entirely.
as a pilot, so technically, yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
Well,
All right, I think we covered it. We're a little crazy, a little fun, but
Little.
I didn't
roll it back in so we can start adventuring.
I didn't realize what I blew up, what I was shooting was going to actually blow the whole ship up because I was still new to Traveler. I didn't realize using that type of weapon. Of course, he pointed it out to me later after I blew the entire ship up.
Did the referee at any time say those magic words? Are you sure?
Nope.
Nope.
Oh, is that the clue word that we didn't catch on? Are you absolutely sure you want to do that? Really?
Oh, no.
Did you hear him? He said, nope.
Is that like the Microsoft? You have to click it 5 times to say yes?
You don't even get it like that though. Sometimes it's just like, okay, can I hear that again? Did I hear this right? It's not even, are you sure? It's just.
Well, yeah. Well, hang on. Just to clarify, tell me exactly what you were doing.
Yeah, if you hear any of those things or anything that sounds remotely like it, it means you are about to do something probably not in your best interest.
See, this whole time I thought when referees did that, it meant you're doing something good.
I didn't say it wasn't good. It's great. But
they're cheering you on. Is that what you're going with? Okay.
The outcome may not quite come out so great. I mean, I blew up my own ship. So.
Well, it's better that you blew it up than somebody else did.
Yeah, true.
A little background on this. The ship that she's talking about had been stolen. They tracked it down. They were in another vessel, and they found it. And they called on him to surrender. The other guy basically gave him the middle finger and started trying to run. Well, he's in a 100-ton merchantman running from a 400-ton privateer. Actually, no, it was a 600-ton. I take it back. Okay. Single volley. They hit with just about every shot. 4 triple lasers and 2 particle barbettes. So I think it kind of turned it into confetti.
So you're going with the Hail Mary that didn't work. Okay.
And then he pointed everything out afterwards of why I used all the hit points on the ship. And I was like, oh.
Yes.
Ancient history. We're moving on.
Yeah.
Players live and learn, even if their characters don't live and learn.
Yes. So anyway, I believe we're in the process of getting our current vessel fixed.
That's right.
Yes.
We have
Back in the ranch.
Yeah. So, the 3-4 weeks, or it was like in between 3 and 4 weeks, have passed.
Carousing, whatever.
Yep, carousing, whatever,
Okay.
and
Honky tonkin'.
getting the hang of the local neighborhood, so to speak. So there is an active rebellion going on against the Josephite occupation. So for those who don't know, what's happened is that there's a neighboring system where there's a war going on within factions in that system, and then one of the warring factions has decided to come and invade this system to get its resources and technology in order to better do that war over there. It's a bit like when Japan attacked the United States so it could better fight its war against China, which didn't necessarily work out really great for them. But, it's
Not
countries
China.
have a history of doing countries have
Different
a history of doing
country.
this sort of thing.
Yes.
It would be Japan.
So
we're losing this war. Let's start another one. And they're doing that same thing. The occupation is pretty hardcore. You obviously can't carry any weapons about and everything, and they're forever stopping you and checking your papers and coming in and inspecting things and all the rest. You're not sure how much this hardcore is in this high level is in the nature of the government back home, and how much it's simply because they're occupying a foreign world. But there is an active rebellion going on against them, but most people confine themselves to being surly and taking their money and spitting in their drinks and that sort of thing. You had all your weapons confiscated, and your ship was sort of torn open as they looked for things. And the one place they didn't look when they were inspecting your ship for contraband, namely precious metals or weapons, was the actual cargo, because the officer said nobody would actually hide anything in the actual cargo. That'll be genuine. We don't need to look at that. And that's, of course, where you actually had your precious metals. And he took all your weapons off you.
modern solutions require modern problems.
Exactly. So, your ship's been under repair from the local shipyards. At Downport Fritz. The ship maintenance, originally called Fannie Mae, which has been renamed to Achtung Visitor. You suspect that they might be mocking the invaders, though the invaders, the joke seems to have gone over their head. And you gave those guys a briefcase full of gold to do the repairs. So you go in from time to time to check on the repairs and see how they're going, and then you're just a couple of days away from it all finishing up. There's mostly just cosmetic stuff going on now. They're giving it a final lick of paint, so to speak. And you go and look at the door, and you see a big customs seal on it. There's a lien has been placed on the ship.
A lien has been placed on our ship by customs.
Yes.
What do we owe customs?
Okay, so You go and talk to the guy at customs. So he's one of the Helderman guys, and he says you get like this officious guy in a uniform that most resembles like the East German army uniform, and with a nice high collar tight around his neck, turning his face red. And he says, you don't owe any money on the ship, but there's legal proceedings underway. Someone else claims that you've stolen their ship.
That'd be kind of a neat trick since we flew here in it.
Yeah, they're saying that you stole it from another world. The papers have been filed at a local courthouse.
This antique, this flying memorial to man's never say die and act before you think engineering. You think we stole this? Buddy,
He says, well, he says, I have no
Considering
opinion
it's
on
going
that.
to cost more to get
just
this
work for-
working than it's worth.
He says, I have
Can
no
we get a
opinion on
copy
whether you
of the
stole it or
paperwork?
not. That'll be up to the court. Yes, you can go to the courthouse and get it.
all right.
You can
To
go-
the courthouse we go.
Okay, so you go to the courthouse, and over the original seal of the courthouse, there's a Helderman flag that's been held up. It's a big red background with a big black J on it for the Josephites. It's the faction that's come to take over the world. And you go
Nice.
inside.
Simple. Looks good on a uniform armband.
And you walk inside, and there's all these, like there's armed guards as you enter the court and all the rest. So you go in, and there's a clerk's office, a bureaucratic functionary sitting behind the desk.
Yeah, hi. Reggie Willie, skipper of this ship, and I hand him the copy of the writ. What is this outrage? What is this nonsense? All we want to do is grab some vacuum, all right? We want to be gone from your little ongoing political effort here.
He says. Well, let's just have a look. Let's have a look. And he looks through his paperwork, and he says, well, we've got a notice of lien, claim on your ship that it was stolen.
Do they have any documentation to prove this allegation?
Well, they say it was originally called something else, and they've got the original transponder number, which matches yours. And when the ship was inspected, that was all on the systems. That was all on the system. So when we looked at the transponder and the black box and so on, it was all
And
on
who
the
is
systems.
it that's filed the claim?
Apparently, it's been sitting. The ship's been sitting around. The black box indicates it hasn't travelled for about 30 years. So that would have to mean that either the ship has been sitting on another world for 30 years, or that you guys wiped the records. I don't know what they're asserting, but they're just asserting that you stole it from them.
What guys? Who is asserting this?
Can't make out this handwriting. Ballard, apparently, he says, squinting at the paper.
Any of you guys know a Ballard? Bubba, do you know about that? Doesn't even sound remotely. Is that made up? Are you making that name up, sir? Are you having me on?
Ballard.
He shows you the
I do
paperwork.
have a question. This Ballard character, is he in the system as a legitimate citizen, or is this a track record that he is
Well,
not?
he's a citizen of Gibson. He says you guys stole his ship from Gibson.
So it's hearsay on his part, and there is no
Well, that'll
documented proof other than his
Well, ma'am, that'll be
information that he's come up with.
Party.
Yes.
That'll be up to the side.
Out of game question, because this was a very long time ago for my poor brain. Wasn't he on our record in the ship as a prisoner on the ship?
Yes.
And we kept that record.
Yes.
Then might
Can
I recommend we submit our ship's record as court evidence?
Ooh, good
We could
thinking.
do that.
As a counterclaim. So I will probably storm up with some printed out copy of this document, submit it to the clerk with something to the akin of, "You snarky asshole, you've just been tricked by a convict."
Oh, that's right, Ballard. Yeah, the escaped convict.
As I said, he said that'll have to be established by the court.
When is
And
the court case scheduled for, please?
Let's have a look, he says. Just look at
And how is he going to present this information? Is he going to be in person? Or is he going to have a legal representative?
I would assume he'll have a legal representative, but I mean, he's signed it, so he must be on this world.
Well, let me ask you this.
Can we get that information for that legal representative? Because it should be public knowledge.
Well, it's not here at the moment.
As an active party. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it looks like he's yet to get himself legal representation. He's just done the initial paperwork.
Okay.
Well, he's going to need it because ancillary, but parallel to this.
He doesn't have a court date yet. The records indicate he's looking for legal representation. But the court has issued a preliminary injunction prohibiting the ship from leaving the system.
I would like to report the presence of an escaped convict. Can I report that to you?
No, you go to the police office.
Excellent. We'll go and do that.
We would like a physical copy of the complaint, though.
Yes, we could do that, he says, and he goes over to his photocopier and he spends some time figuring out the jam on it. And,
PC load letter? What the?
Takes the baseball bat and threatens it a little bit. We know how that works.
All right.
We've all seen Office Space.
Yes. So after we leave the building with our printout, I'll consult the group. Okay, team. I tend to be the most equal among equals, that sort of thing, but I'm willing to take a vote. Do we find Ballard and kill him, or do we turn him over to the cops?
Let's turn him over to the cops.
I'll vote yes.
Whoever
I vote turning him over to the cops, and whoever he appoints as legal representation, let's pay them a little more so it disappears quickly.
I vote we kill him and turn his dead body over to the cops.
That's kind of in line with what we're thinking.
I like that idea.
That's too much work, though.
No, it's not. We have brought in a bounty, dead or
That's
alive.
fun.
He's dead.
Well, if you want to do that, that's fine. I'm not going to stop you, but it's more work than I want to do.
Let's go visit the local bounty office. See if we can declaim. Let's make money on this.
I'm all about making money, Mr. Game Master. Is there a?
This guy's want to buy off his legal representation to get this to end quickly, though, so we can leave promptly.
Yes.
Because we don't want to be hanging around when they actually discover kind of some of the background on what happened to Ballard. Because they're going to investigate how the body turned up that we reported as a bail jumper.
Let's go find the Confed bail office or whatever.
Yeah, there's a Commonwealth.
Commonwealth, sorry.
Commonwealth bail office, yeah.
I'm trying
All
to
right.
think of what
I'm
that
just
would be in
saying.
German, and I can't.
Yeah, there's a Commonwealth Marshal that deals with all the interstate
All right.
affairs and
See a brusque fellow with a with a Scottish accent?
that. No, he's on a far shittier planet than this.
I was going to ask if he had the tiny mustache and a beret, but that works too.
Yeah, I would kill a Scottish accent at this point.
Yes. Very well.
All right, so
We'll find a ballot and then we'll space him.
from the Scottish
That's a
Chauvinism,
bad
Socialist
Sean
Republic.
can, everyone.
Yes.
Bloody hell.
Your attack was too slow, Highlander. No better than that of a clumsy child.
All right.
All right,
So, so you go to the Commonwealth Marshal's office, and you see a guy's obviously the marshal. He's got a badge on his chest and everything, and cap on, and he's sitting with his arms crossed and his feet up. He's looking behind his desk. There's a couple of more clerical types in there, and they're all sitting there looking extremely bored.
Ooh, we made their day. We're giving them something to do.
Possibly.
Good
You're lucky day.
good day to you, Marshal. I apologize
Okay.
for the intrusion, but we got kind of an escaped convict situation we'd like to report to you.
You're not. If you're working with the authorities here, you got to go and talk to them, not to me. This is an interplanet. It is a matter between the different factions on the planet. We don't interfere in that.
Oh no.
The system's under interdiction at the moment, so that nobody comes in and tries to support the warring factions.
No. Trust me.
Sanctions against them all to
This
stop the murder of too many people.
factionalized, nationalistic stuff going on here. This is above and beyond that. Can I have the paperwork, please? So this escaped con, who is also extending his career into larceny, Ballard, was a corpsicle on the ship that we inherited, and he's been one system behind us.
Inherited, it says that you stole it.
Exactly. You see what he's done? You see what he's trying to do? So he's been one system behind us, trying to get his hands on our ship. And look,
He looks over one of his clerics, and the cleric's like looking at a green screen computer and says, "There's no Ballard on our system. No escaped convict Ballard on our system."
hell, he was like I said, he was corpsicle on the
about
ship.
30 years.
He was on ours. Yeah, check back about 30 years ago. You can see our ship's records.
So he's been one step behind you for 30 years, you're saying?
No.
You've been flying this ship since you were 4-year-olds.
No, sir. No. We inherited the ship. Apparently,
From your grandparents or something. 30 years.
something like that. I didn't find out about it till I got out of the Navy. Understand? I've been you a Navy man, sir?
Do you want to walk out of the office again and come back in again with your story straight?
We've got our story straight. I'm telling you, this guy is an escaped convict. He is trying to con me out of my ship, and now he's loose on the planet.
Do you have any proof that he is an escaped convict?
Yeah, right here.
We do.
And I show him the paperwork from our ship.
Your paperwork from your ship is on your ship. You would not be carrying it around day by day while the ship's under repair.
That is what I would have
I
gone
think
and
we would have
printed.
gone back and printed everything out before we had gone.
But you couldn't
to...
because there was a custom seals on the ship.
What's wrong? We are.
Can
not
we
even
remotely
allowed-
access the computers
No.
from the ship?
How?
No,
are we not
that's the
allowed
whole reason for the ban on high-tech stuff.
How are we not allowed to legally access, considering that has literally our clothes, etc.? They could not legally prevent us from accessing that.
Well, you would have. what you would probably have to do is go and ask the authorities to go on the ship and get stuff under their supervision.
Well, we probably would have done that before we had gone here first, because we wanted to make sure that we had all the documentation with us before we went.
Well,
Because we know how the authorities work, especially on this kind of situation.
Yeah.
well, I'm not going to put forward what we could have done and what we should have done. I'll say, look, I thought one of my crewmen had the paperwork off the ship, the records. We'll get them. We'll bring them back.
When you have some paperwork, when you have some proof for your allegations, then you come back to us.
Certainly. I thank you for your patience. We'll be seeing you again real soon with the paperwork.
Hey, Marshal, are you a marshal or a sheriff or what? What title are you anyway?
Marshal. Commonwealth
Marshal. So, Marshal, where's there a good place to go honky tonking around here?
Out of character, we've been here okay, I'm sorry, you're buttering him up. Never mind. Go ahead.
He says, I like to have a brandy and cigar at home in the evenings by myself.
By yourself?
I look the other direction. I'm looking the other direction because I'm going to lose it.
Are the women here not that fetching or something? I don't understand this being by yourself thing.
You have to maintain professionalism so that you can be impartial.
Brother, you got to clock out sometime. Come on now. I tell you what, tonight...
Commonwealth Marshal does not clock out, sir.
Well, tonight you are. Me and you at the honky tonk. You choose. We'll have a big time. I'll come back and pick you up.
He just kind of squints at you and shakes his head sadly. Sorry, you didn't get a good reaction roll.
Well, I'm still coming.
Maybe you could get one of the clerks. I don't know. They might be single. You don't know.
Well, Rob did want Bubba to go on his charm offensive, so there we go. Okay, so you head off back to the ship, yeah? Yeah. So,
well, apparently we're going to go someplace else before we get to the ship because we have to get authorization to be able to go onto the ship.
Yeah, you'll have to go to the courthouse to get permission to go onto the ship supervised.
Now, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that, like, this isn't like, you get a lien on your shed because it's not up to code. It's an orange sticker on the door that it's something a bit more, a bit more.
Apparently, they're guarding it, not just tape.
We can't just walk on, unlock the board, and boost.
Well, there's no guards on the ship. There's just like the general guards that are in the airport generally, but there's none specifically because the ship's still in the in the maintenance area.
Okay.
So there's guards in the airport generally, but this is off to one side in the maintenance area. And you remember that the guy in charge of the shipyard was quite friendly there. You paid him a briefcase of gold, which is completely illegal. But he didn't care. He doesn't want the crappy script from Helderman. That's not worth anything. He wants, gold and silver. Well, he'd take whiskey, but you'd need a lot of whiskey to repair this ship. So that's off to one side. Customs seal could perhaps be broken and then forged again with the forgery skill, which your guy Benjo has. If you just wanted to break in.
Is it really worth it? No, I think we should try to do it legally, and then that way we don't risk if it doesn't work. That's just me, though. If you guys want to do something else, that's fine.
I don't mind trying to go through the official channels first, and if that fails, then we can go through the back channels.
The back door.
Slim's
Grease a few
real good
palms,
at doing
I'm-
that in
I'm
fake
good with that.
documents.
All right. We'll go to the authorities. Hey, we need things off of our ship.
Personal effects. Personal effects. Yeah.
Personal effects off of the ship.
Yeah. So the clerk of the court writes an order and a sort of wave. He says, "Yeah, of course you can do that." He
Thank you.
waves it out, and it says something in effect like personal effects only. Personal effects only. And he waves the guard over. There's a guy who's he's obviously like a junior NCO, and he takes a couple of guys with him. And you jump in a truck and go over to the airport, and then also the spaceport, and then the maintenance area, and they roll up and do a roll, Bill.
All right, I got a 10.
10. Okay, that's for how dedicated to his job this junior NCO is. He's
Okay.
fairly dedicated, so he follows you in.
Okay.
And he follows you in, but he doesn't take his guys with him.
All right.
If he was undedicated to the job, he just would have left you to go in and then let you watch and checked you when you came out. Right.
Understood.
He goes in and he follows you in.
All right, everybody, go get your stuff. We
Yeah.
don't want to keep this gentleman any longer than we have to.
Sure.
Okay.
Hey,
Okay.
Bubba.
Okie dokie.
Yes.
I'm going to put this fine, young, dedicated young man under your charge for the time being. Do me a favor.
Uh-huh.
Make sure he has a good time.
Do what now?
Make sure he has a good time. Entertain him.
Oh, the guard?
Absolutely.
Well,
He's nice enough to watch us while we're doing this.
Ain't we got a bottle of that old Jim Beam back here?
Probably.
We do.
Ooh.
Oh, I'm sure we do.
Come to the cabin with Bubba.
It's in the cargo area.
So yeah, go over to the cargo bay. Hang out. You know where my desk is. Yada yada. It's all under there, and we'll come back and check in on you in a little bit. Okay. Okay.
Oh boy.
Okay, make a roll, Bubba, to see if he wants to go with you.
Oh, well, he's gonna go with me whether he likes it or not. I
Make a
rolled
roll.
a 5.
5. No, he says
roll
no.
well.
He says I'll stay with your captain. For
Or
all you
you
guys
can-
are about to take off.
or you can stay with old Captain Jim Beam here.
No, I'm good, thank you.
Oh, I don't
That's it.
think you are. Look at this bottle. This thing is aged,
Yeah.
man. In a couple more years, this thing will
He
start
just
communicating
gently
with
pushes
Come
you on
on.
the chest away from himself, and he keeps his eye on Reggie. What are you doing, Reggie?
Well, right now I'm getting my my hair kit, my diary, my let's see, God, my boot polishing kit. I got to get that.
I do
Hold
some
up.
hand signals behind the guy and say, if we can, I'm pointing to different things and waiting for him to nod. So when he's distracting the guy for other areas, I can grab things that he needs.
Do you like
so
classical
Sapphire-
music?
So Sapphire, you had previously mentioned that there's good places to conceal things where males in particular tend not to look.
Yes,
are you going to,
yes, I do.
So when you get things out, what are you going to try to get out? And is Tammy
Well,
going to
any
do
kind of weapons
similar-
in that, I'm going to be like.
We don't
any
have
of the other
weapons.
female characters going to do similar things?
Well, I'm going to proceed to go and print out pictures of my loving dog and family, and I'm going to keep them very close to my person. So unless he wants to strip search me, he's never going to find them.
Okay.
Well, he don't even want.
I'm going into the Target and I'm taking the rest of our gold bars and hiding them on my person out of the cargo area that they did not search.
Heavy. It's gold bars like that. It's gold bars like that.
I have a question about the
It's
gold.
not really possible to conceal them on your person.
No.
How is the gold set? I mean, is it bullion? Is it coins? Is it
bullion.
ore?
It's bullion. It's
okay.
like big chunks like that. And
okay.
Oh, I'm sure I could wear a dress. I can wear a dress and hide it under.
I'm not worried about the gold, but
we need bribe money here, okay? We're bribing people, so we need some of it.
I'll at least keep my knife on me.
Well, Bubba is going to his quarters with the bottle of Jim Beam, and he is going to pick out his best Hawaiian shirt and his most impressive looking cargo shorts.
Don't forget the boots. The boots make it. Come on.
His bedazzled flip flops.
Oh,
are they
bedazzled?
Woo!
They're
Do
bedazzled.
They spell out anything?
They're bedazzled and they say his name Bubba on them. And then he's
there you go.
He's going to sit back there and he's talking about, he's going to say real loud, time to load another one.
Okay. So it's Ricky. It's your character who's getting the relevant documents that you wanted. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So the rest of us are just kind of
keep on
occupying
the person.
Seriously, I'm changing it to a dress, and I'm putting the bribe gold underneath. Okay.
Well, you could just put it in a bag underneath the things that you mentioned earlier.
Okay, that works too.
Yeah. Why put it called a dress on? Oh.
I'm gonna ask the as he's following me around as I'm going around my quarters collecting things. You like classical music? You music guy?
Not really. He says.
No. Okay. Let's see. All right, because I've got, and then there's the live albums, and then there's the compilation. Okay, I am missing. I'm stalling. I'm stalling.
Yeah, you're stalling. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm opening up my bag of cassettes and dumping them out, and like, okay, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 In Through the Outdoor, Coda.
Yeah, he's not rushing you along. He's in no rush. He's a junior NCO. His day is being spent doing nothing during the occupation anyway.
Then
it
my
could be
careful...
worse. He could be, because I mean, what's the alternative? He could be out patrolling, looking for rebels. And being shot.
Then my careful search for
whether he's standing around inside your ship or standing around outside it or standing around outside a courthouse or whatever, he just doesn't care. You know these Marine types.
My careful search for Led Zeppelin's The Song Remains the Same is going to take hours and hours until some other crew member comes and sticks their head in and says they're ready to go. I'm going to meticulously look through every bin and every box, and then under every bin and every box, and then behind every bin and every box.
It'll be great.
I'm going to open access panels. I'm going to close access panels. I'm going to lift floor panels off. I'm going to replace floor panels.
You're going to find ones that you think are, but they're not really, and you're going to be disappointed.
Bubba sticks his head out his cabin door there and says, "Hey, guard guy, since you ain't got no name, come here and tell me if this rocket launcher is illegal to take with me."
No, you can't have any weapons on there, and you know that. And the place has already been searched for weapons, and you know that.
Okay. What about my
Well,
ceremonial?
I'm trying to get him to come back to my cabin.
He says,
I start pulling out my different. I pull out my feminine products and say, "Are these okay? Can I use these?"
Nice.
He turns bright red.
I step him back in. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I just had to make sure some planets are not good with certain items. Thank you.
Hand him a tampon and say, you know what? These are good for bullet wounds.
I mean, he's right.
You could shove them up your nose and stop a nosebleed.
He just waved you off. That's all right, ma'am. He's turning bright red. That's all right. Because he's like a 24-year-old guy. So.
I just when they go, I just look at him. Women, am I right?
I make sure that I spread him over the top of my bag so he will not check my bag.
That's what I figured. You got gold and silver at the bottom of your bag with a pile of tampons and sanitary napkins and stuff.
But now he knows how to stop a nosebleed.
And I'll add a little bit of that of the bullion into my package as well. That way we have a couple of us carrying some.
It's all the women doing smuggling.
Yep. Is there anything I need to do to retrieve those documents?
No, you could just print them out.
That's fine. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything I need to do to Okay, so no rolls to hide them or anything. We're good.
No, you don't.
Awesome.
You don't have to. You just say what you do. This is an old school game. There isn't a skill for everything. You don't need to do your knife sharpening skill or something like that. Roll to sit down on a chair.
FYI, y'all, Bubba has polished off half that bottle by himself.
And unless two questions. What first? Is there a computer terminal in my quarters cubicle?
No.
Okay. All right. Then I will look at him and say, "Hey, there's a couple of pieces of entertainment software written in standard BASIC I'd like to get off the ship's main computer. Can we go to the tech bench and I can download those?"
Yes, he says.
All right, great, thanks. We'll walk out and
you look at his face and you realize he has no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, that's fine.
You just really
He's probably out of sorts for the last encounter anyway.
This guy's a grunt.
We've completely flustered him.
All right, let me just load up a tape here. Click. I'm literally just. I'm typing in random commands, pressing enter. I'm wasting as much time of his as I possibly can. Again, until my crew comes and says that they're ready.
I'm going to go and honk Bill on the nose and tell him that all of his female friends are waiting for him, and we're ready to throw a crazy wild party, and it's going to be great.
All right.
But Bubby yells out to the guard, "Hey, you want to come here and look at my bedazzled Daisy Duke, see if they meet specifications?"
He's gonna go back to barracks and tell these guys about this crazy ship.
A ship full of degenerates. And one of them kept saying something about software, and that's when I really got creeped out. All right. Well, after I monkey around, I'll just take the tape out of the computer and throw it in my bag and say, memories. Zip up the bag and just kind of out to the ship in general in my best stentorian Navy officer's voice. Is everyone ready? Have we all gotten everything we came here to get? We don't want to waste this gentleman's time anymore or again if we can help it.
Oh, why?
I don't
It's
know. I
fine.
don't think we should let him out with those Daisy Dukes on because he's going to fall out and probably insult somebody, if not get arrested.
But they're bedazzled. They match my flip flops.
It's also like 9 degrees outside. Put a coverall on.
Bubba, I'm gonna go.
All right, fine. So Bubba,
Crazy idea.
mhm.
Let's go put you in a coverall, and then put your Daisy Dukes on.
Ooh, that's thinking for you.
Can we put a bed sheet on my back and I can pretend I'm a hero?
It is
Go
indeed
for
quite
it.
cold. It
That's
is indeed
what I'm
quite cold
doing.
on this world. Remember, this world's got quite a thin atmosphere. You guys need respirators. Anyone with endurance of less than 10 needs respirators on.
Yeah, and borderline.
Yeah.
Well, I will definitely carry one.
I can go for short periods of time without it, but I still need it.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
I mean, if you're walking around, if you're just sitting around or lying around, then you should be right down to about, endurance 5 or something. But if you're walking around for any amount of time, otherwise you get altitude sickness and you're out for a few days. I mean, you guys would be somewhat acclimatized because you've been here a few weeks now. So let's say endurance 8 by now.
Ooh, that would be me.
The locals,
Awesome.
of course, are completely acclimatized, as are the occupation forces, except the ones who just couldn't handle it and they got shipped back.
But Bubba still has to wear one, though, right?
Yeah. Because,
But you could probably bedazzle it.
Bubba's got endurance. Bubba's got endurance
next.
3.
That is next on the
Bedazzled
agenda.
shirt.
Bubba's got endurance 3. He's the classic. He gets winded walking upstairs guy. Like he's winded.
No, he gets
and
winded
sweating.
walking downstairs.
No, that's endurance 2. Endurance 3.
So-
is
Hey,
winded
Bubba,
walking
you
upstairs and sweating and.
You need the high-tech level of bedazzled where it like glows in the dark. Okay, dude.
My flip flops have those. So Bubba finally comes out of his cabin. He's wearing coveralls and that's tied at the waist. Right, it's like the top half is off and it's tied at the waist. He has on his bedazzled Daisy Dukes over the bottom of his coveralls. He's wearing his best obnoxious Hawaiian T-shirt. He's got his bedazzled flip flops on, and he's got an Ancient Earth Chicago Cubs hat.
Oh, Chicago. Really?
What is that?
That's what you're going with.
And he's holding an empty bottle of Jim Beam, and he's talking about wanting to find another.
Dude.
Okay, so so you finish up what you want to get out of the ship with a lot of delay, and you head on out. Someone's got their speaker on. We're getting feedback. You head on out of the ship with all the documents. The guards and the NCO do a cursory search of your stuff, and when they see when they say it's just personal,
I swap around my bag with my feminine products to embarrass them too.
Yeah, when they see that at the top, they don't delve further into the bag because they're young males, so they don't look further.
Obviously,
Works
they don't have
every
sisters.
time.
Yep.
But Bubba bats his eyelashes at the guys and goes, "Y'all want to check me too?"
You'll appreciate No, they don't. You'll appreciate this, Sapphire. Along similar lines, once we had Phantom of the Opera showing here in Melbourne. This is like more than 20 years ago, and you had to buy tickets like 12 to 18 months ahead. It was that popular. And
Okay.
I didn't have anyone to go with at the time. I didn't have a girlfriend or anything. And I thought, look, I'll buy it, and by the time it comes around, I'll find somebody who wants to go with me, even if I just go with a friend or something. So the time came along, and I asked to go out on the first date, and she said yes, and she said, where will we go? And I said, well, we'll meet at such and such restaurant, which was actually the theatre restaurant. And then further on, it's a surprise. And she said, rightio. And then I sat at the restaurant, and she had stood me up. So I was sitting there eating breadsticks and feeling sorry for myself, and this waitress kept coming up, and the waitress kept coming up and asking if I wanted to order, and I was saying wasn't. And then after about 25 minutes or something, the waitress says, "Look, I'm sorry. I think you have to face that you've been stood up. So maybe you should just order now." And I said, "Yeah, I think she has stood me up." And I said, "It's a pity. It was a first date, and we were going to go to Phantom of the Opera." And she just stood there for a moment looking at me, and she said, "Wait a moment." And then she turned around, walking away from me, taking her apron off as she did so, and went up and spoke to the manager, picked up her jacket and her handbag, and walked, and then took me by the arm and said, "Come on."
You've been adopted.
Wholesome
You found
goodness.
yourself a date. Are you still with her?
I said, no. And I said, "What did you tell him?" And she said, "I just told him I had my period." They never argued. We only had one date, but it was a nice evening, and we had fun, and
Good. That's what matters.
yeah. So as Sapphire said, there's some things that guys just don't ask questions about.
Hey, I got a wife and 2 daughters. I go buy the stuff for them.
I'm gonna lock that story in my memory. That was great.
That is a great
My
story.
husband refuses. It's all on me. And we have 2 daughters, so it's all on me.
Hey.
Rob asks, "Wait, isn't there an ATV in the ship?" Yes, there is. I'm not sure why that's relevant. Like, are you guys, is he suggesting that you jump out?
I mean,
and
an
turn it off?
ATV isn't a personal effect that they're going to take or like confiscate or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I would tend to think that they'll probably view that basically as ship equipment.
And just to note, I left feminine products strewn around my cabin. So they're going to look and they're going to leave.
Yeah, well, they may or may not let you take the ATV, but I mean, why do you need it anyway? You can rent vehicles locally.
Yeah, I'm not worried about the ATV.
Yeah, it's probably a bit large anyway, since those things aren't exactly small.
Mm.
Yeah, and we'd have to like move it on and off and everything. It's just not worth it.
Small, it's large. That's how that works.
They get 5 gallons to the mile. It's great.
No, that's the M1 tank.
Oh, I thought it was solar powered. Come on.
Solar powered M1 tank.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Takes a year to charge.
To drive 5 minutes.
Yeah.
One cannon shot or 5 minutes of driving, but not both.
Okay.
All right. So you get off the ship with the stuff that you wanted to carry off. A bit of spare gold. Not a huge amount. You couldn't carry a whole briefcase because that's like 50 kilograms.
It's enough to bribe. We've got some bribe money here.
Yeah, I've carried about 10 kilos of coins before. That's kind of heavy and awkward.
Yeah, and noisy and obvious as well. You're trying not to be noisy and obvious.
Chink, 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 chink.
Yeah, and you have the printed out documents that you wanted to get. Okay,
Yep.
what to now?
Okay. So what time of day are we at right now?
Well, the place has a 1,516-hour day. It's actually longer than its year. So,
I'm going to assume we
You,
made multiple copies because we're going to have to make
Right.
multiple copies at different offices too. So we're going to have like multiple copies
that's
of all the document to make sure we're fully
That's fine.
compliant.
They're going to
So
photocopy ours.
The place is essentially 24 hours.
It's the marshal I'm concerned with. When will he be leaving the office?
Well, you don't know, but he's probably still there. I mean, you spend a lot of time on the ship, but he's probably still there.
Yeah, he's waiting on me to come pick him up to take him honky tonkin'.
God bless and protect this man. He is the most valuable crew member I have. No offense to anyone here.
Oh no, none taken.
None taken.
All the power to him.
Yep.
I give him a fist bump. You go, guy.
Okay, so you're heading to the marshal's office then.
Yes.
All right, so get your rather than put you on the spot and make you role play every second. What in effect are you going to tell him?
Going to present him with the documents from the ship showing that Ballard is in fact an escaped convict and not just some poor working stiff, and that he basically somewhere here on the planet is a wanted criminal.
And might I suggest that rather than trying to say that we inherited the ship or anything else, just flat out tell it like it is. The ship was abandoned. It was a wreck in the desert. We salvaged it, and per typical maritime law, we took possession.
I'm gonna let you fly that flag, but that's just fine.
I mean, it's
I'm good with that.
the truth.
That's legal precedence.
Yeah.
Well, Reggie Willie, with your admin skill, you'll know that that has to be decided by an admiralty court and stuff. The ownership of it, you don't just grab it and then piss off with it.
We're trying to.
Well, they have documentation that it was been abandoned for 30 years. So.
Yes, and we're trying to get to said court, but there is not on this planet because it has to go to a Commonwealth court or a union.
Yeah.
And so legally, technically, no one owns it.
So.
Well, that has, like I said, has to be determined by admiralty court.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the here and now, basically getting Ballard the fuck arrested, basically, is what I'm focusing on. The ship is a situation that will take care of itself. And again, I'm going to put you on the spear point of discovery and all that kind of crap because you've got a better head for that. But what's he say when we give him the lowdown?
All right, so he glances over the papers and then he hands them over to one of his clerks to look, and the clerk goes through and says, that it looks legit. Remember, they don't have instant interstellar communications to check things and all the rest, but they can sort of look and go, oh yeah, that's the right kind of serial number for 30 years ago, and blah blah blah. It sort of matches records, and the clerk goes out into the back offices and looks through some microfiche records and comes back with a printout and says, yeah, there were these guys, Ballard and Bruce and Ray, that were on a ship serial number, rattles off your ship serial number. They were being transported ship disappeared, apparently. Somewhere en route. So, yeah. 32 years ago.
And
it says.
And is there new legal counsel yet that has been appointed?
To what?
To Ballard?
Counsel?
Did he appoint anybody? Yeah.
Oh, well, sorry, you're talking to the marshal at the moment. He doesn't know anything about the ownership of the ship.
No, I mean, okay, so he doesn't have any new information as far as that goes. Okay.
Well, you're talking to the marshal about Ballard, because the marshal, he's the Commonwealth guy. He's like it's like the FBI or something. So he cares about interstellar criminals and that sort of thing.
Okay.
And
he's not really with the court thing. So okay.
He might be interested in ownership of the ship, but at the moment that's being in the local court. So if the local court can sort it out, then they don't worry about it. If you wish to escalate it to an admiralty court, then you might be able to afterwards, if you don't like the court's decision.
Yeah, he's more Interpol.
Yeah, or FBI kind of thing, yeah. Interpol or FBI.
FBI is internal only.
Okay, so
yeah, but it's internal between the states. They're self-governing, and that's sort of how the world are. Self-governing with a lot of sovereignty.
Right.
A lot of sovereignty, like the EU was.
So I guess the next step is, since Ballard's obviously an escaped con, I mean...
Oh, we'll look for him, he says. Don't worry about it.
Well, what if we can bag him and bring him to you?
We'll liaise with the local guys. I mean, if you bag him and bring him to me, that's good, he says, but I would advise caution. Not only are they he and his mates criminals, but I mean, you're under military occupation here. So if you're running around kidnapping people, from their point of view, they may not look to it well. Because remember, he's putting the legal action at the local court, so they may not look well upon it if you're grabbing people and throwing them in the boot of a car or whatever, and then even if you present them to us in the end.
Sure. Okay.
I don't mind, but I would advise caution.
Of course, if he shows up at the courthouse and you happen to catch him there.
Yeah. I mean, he's got to show up at the courthouse if he wants his shit. So, or his legal counsel has to.
So, Marshal Fancy Pants, you ready to go honky tonkin'?
Good evening, sir, he says, and waves out of his office.
Now, dadgummit, I wore my best Hawaiian shirt. Come on now. Don't let this Hawaiian shirt go to waste. Come on.
He just puts his head in his hands and
top of the force in Police Academy. scored a 99 in Interstellar Law. And
I throw a bone and I go over to him and I say, yeah, he can dance. This is not something you really want to miss. You'll never forget it.
I've got some calls to make and some people to talk to find your friend Ballard.
Well, I've got some calls to make to go honky tonkin', so I ain't even worried about you no more. I'm already over it.
He waves you out, and as he waves you out, you see him pick up the phone and
I just
so I say, if you change your mind, and I do like the hand sign for a phone, call us.
And he says, you hear him say, "Hello, Fritz Courthouse."
All right, group. Once we're outside and in our rental, and I'll say, all right, group, shall we deliver some freshly sliced Ballard asshole?
Well,
I think we should drop off the paperwork at the courthouse too, with all of this that has been filed against him.
Well, I've been mulling over this whole thing, and I'm of the mind, why get one dog on the hunt when you can have two? Meaning, what if we was to plant seeds in these folks' mind that Ballard is being a sympathizer to the resistance?
You gotta.
Whose minds? We don't want the
Well,
actual resistance supporting him.
The Jesuit people.
Josephites.
There, I was gonna say, hold the
Jesuit works. I like that Bubba
They
said the
knock on
Jesuit.
doors. They hand out
It's not a planet
pamphlets.
occupied by. It's not a planet occupied by Jesuits. It's Josephites.
Well, but Bubba's already got a ball of bean in him, so there ain't no telling.
I
what
think
he's gonna say.
Jesuits from Bubba is just as good.
yeah.
All right.
All right, so you're gonna go to the courthouse and drop off the paperwork about Ballard.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Wouldn't that be something we'd want to spring on the actual hearing rather than ahead of time? That gives him a chance to
That's
fight
what I
it.
was thinking.
Because if he gets an attorney and the attorney gets hold of it, then he'll have the time to work up a defense against that, saying, "Oh no, I was falsely accused" or whatever. Okay, or even go into deeper hiding if he knows that they're looking for him. So-
Good point. Good point.
But once the hearing starts, that's when we want to drop and say, "Hey, this gentleman was a convicted felon who was carried as a prisoner aboard this ship and escaped." So how he's claiming ownership based on that, I don't know.
Well, and he was supplying weapons to the nomad people. So who's to say he ain't doing the same to the resistance folks here?
True.
Now, see, that is fair.
He is a known weapons runner, yes.
If he is a known arms dealer, at least the best we could say would be to go to the local authorities and say, just as a heads up, we know for a fact that this person will be here and he is a known weapons dealer. Do any of you actually have like weapons from him or his business card or something?
Yeah, you'll have his business card. The weapons got confiscated.
Well, yeah. But what I mean is that like proof that his business exists?
Yeah.
Okay.
You've got
if
Ballard,
they
Ballard
find
pawn
the
shop from Gibson.
and if they
You've got
find
his name
the
and number in there.
officer that ransacked our ship, they could get him from him.
Because on the court documents that you've got, it's like Ballard, occupation, pawn shop owner, address, and it's got address in Gibson and all the rest. And that's the address on your business cards that you've got.
I can't believe this jackwad was that big of an idiot.
You know what? The cargo is probably worth it to him.
Well, all criminals can't be Lex Luthor.
Yeah, but this guy ain't even Condiment King.
All right, Game Master. What do we have to do? Well, no. Let me shift back to the group. Do we want to try and bag Ballard?
Well, how are we
I
gonna
would
get
say
off the
no
planet?
at this point because we don't know where he is.
Well, remember, remember, you're foreigners on this world. There's not that many because it's under interdiction, and it's under from the Commonwealth Navy to stop, because there's sanctions against the warring parties so that they don't spread this shit any further between systems, and it's under military occupation by Helderman or by the Josephites from Helderman. So, and as well, it's locally, it's low gravity, low atmosphere. So the locals are adapted to it. You look, and you guys are used to one atmosphere, one gravity. You look different. You walk along, you bounce.
Yeah.
When you walk along,
we stand out.
Yeah, you stand out. Ballard will stand out as well.
True.
I mean, he's spent decades on Gibson.
What's the
so he's adapted locally, but he's still taller. He's still broader. And he'll have a different accent and all the rest. He will stand out. It's like trying to find the expat in Mogadishu or something like that. I don't know.
He can't blend into a culture like I can.
Indeed, Bubba. Indeed.
Yeah, that bling really blends in.
Most valuable crew member, and none of the rest of you forget it.
Indeed.
I don't think I should. So.
All right. Well, we don't know what resources. Ballard had 30 years before we showed up. He could have built up a tremendous nest egg and be at the hoitiest hotel, or he could be at a one of those hostels that is literally just outside the minimum safe distance for a reactor explosion from a ship at the spaceport. We just don't know. How big is the port city, Mr. Game Master?
Where are you guys staying, by the way? It's got a couple 100,000 people. How big's the world?
Also, party. The first chance we see him, let's not jump him. Let's wait until after he shows up at court, because that way he's not we have proof that he's here. And if nothing happens there, right? If he somehow evades or gets caught, we should be, if fails to get caught, that's when we should jump on him. So, whole, mechanized chase scene through the city kind of thing as he is fleeing the law. I think purely in terms of pulp action, leave me alone.
Where are you guys staying?
Oh, some moderately provisioned hotel, nothing too fancy. We're not rolling in and booking 8 separate suites at the Ritz, but at the same time,
and you're all staying at the same place.
Yeah,
I think for safety's sake, yeah.
Yeah.
I would say that.
We've got adjoining doors.
Yeah,
it's probably a guy's room and a girl's room, and there's a door between that we can open and close at will.
There's a guy's room, there's a girl's room, and there's a Bubba's room.
Yeah, I always feel bad for Will.
He's a unique force of nature. We can't contain him and restrain him.
So
we put him in the hot tub.
Ooh, I vote yes.
All right. So when you go into your hotel lobby, there's this little balding guy sitting there in the lobby, and he sees you, and he looks up and he stands up. He's obviously a local, and he stands up and he says, "Good morning. My name is Mr. Odendirk. I am the legal representative for a friend of yours, Ballard."
Oh, that criminal?
You've been served, he says, and he hands you each a piece of paper or an envelope with a piece of paper in it.
But
and when
Bubba just eats his.
Since when do the opposite lawyers serve papers? It should be a third uninterested party.
It's got a piece of, there's different legal systems here and there. And he opens it up. When you open it up, you see it's basically they're saying a cease and desist. You don't get to go back to your ship and rummage around in it again. It says, we have been made aware that you have gone back to the ship and retrieved some effects, and you may be concealing evidence, blah, blah, blah. You are required to not do so again and to hand over to the court anything that you have retrieved, blah, blah, blah.
Well, it'll be a cold day in hell when I give up my bedazzled flip-flops. You're going to talk to Ballard? Is this right? I'm talking to the lawyer. You're going to go talk to him, right?
Would you like my tampon before or after it's used?
Because I got a message for you to convey to Ballard, and I punched the lawyer in the face.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Okay, roll an attack.
Oh my
Jesus.
god.
Bubba's done drank
Roll an attack, Bubba.
a 6, baby. Oh wait! I get a +1 because I'm a brawler, so 7 total.
Yeah, you automatically get surprised. The lawyer's not expected to be punched in the face.
Well,
They should be, but
Well, I think they automatically need to be every time you talk to them.
Yeah, so you got a 6, but you get a +1 for advantageous strength, and you got a +1 for your skill. So you will hit him. Okay. So now you do your 1d6 damage.
God.
Roll your 1d6 damage.
I just roll on the floor at this point. I'm like, oh my God.
and I rolled a 4. It was but a love tap.
4 damage. Okay. Yeah, you knock him out cold. He goes flying back.
I turned to the captain.
Flip flops.
You knock him out cold.
I
And
turned to
at
the
least
captain
one
and
of you
go,
will see. At least one of you will see the clerk behind the hotel clerk behind the desk look rather alarmed, and then pick up their phone and start dialing.
I'm
I
going
turned.
to.
We need to go. No, we need to leave.
I turned to the captain and go, "You think he can remember all that I told him to tell Ballard?"
yeah, we need to leave now.
I'm just going to
Before
walk
you lose
over.
your flip flops.
I'm going to walk over to the clerk as they're kind of shuffling out, and I'm going to slowly put their hand back down off the phone and hang up the phone.
The clerk just sort of nervously complies and backs off away from the counter because you're having to lean over the counter to do that.
That's fine. This is a matter between friends. Police don't need to get involved. That is a love tap for a way of saying hello from where we are. Thank you.
The clerk's just sort of her eyes are just kind of shifting around. Like, I don't want to look this person. If I look this person in the face, she might punch me. And I'm looking around for an exit.
That's fair. Hey, you have your ways of saying hi. We have our ways. Okay.
And you see a glance over. So there's a TV. They've got a security camera and all the rest, on the lobby of their hotel.
That's fine. I'm just gonna smile and wave and see myself out.
Already out the door after I pulled myself off the floor.
Bubba's
After
drunkenly
unplugging the
yelling,
phone.
"You ain't getting my bedazzled flip flops, you son of a bitch!"
I'm pulling him. Come on, big guy. Come on. Choose
So
your fight.
is this your informal checking out of the hotel then?
Yes.
Apparently.
So do you leave your gear behind in the rooms?
No, I'm going to go up and collect whatever I
Nah.
got.
Yeah.
We'll take a look.
I'm taking my bag. I'm not leaving my products behind.
Yep, I'm not leaving my products behind.
Gathering effects.
Okay, so when you come back downstairs with your effects, you see the lawyer still sprawled out on the ground, and there's a couple of paramedics next to him.
Oh, I will walk over with a used product and put it down by him. Says he wanted this.
And as you walk out the door, some of the local police come rolling up.
Yeah, I looked at the text.
You should have shoved up his nose.
They get out of the vehicle. Are you guys stopping or are you just walking on?
Just keep
No,
on
we're
going.
walking on.
Oh, we're just walking off.
Okay, you just walk on, and the police walk into the hotel lobby past you.
Just rolling on.
I guess this needs to go to a honky tonk.
All right, where are you guys heading now?
We need to find a new place to stay.
Now we're going to a nondescript rundown hotel that takes cash only.
Or gold, maybe.
Or gold.
Gold.
So much for hot showers and safety.
Damn damn it. You're going to have to
find
share with Bubba.
You find a rundown flop house. They do. Don't worry, Ricky. They do indeed have hot showers. They've got those showers with like the electric hot water inside the shower. Comes with a bonus electric shock when you turn the taps. My wife and I had a honeymoon in Peru, and we had that. Like you turn the tap,
Nice.
It's like you're crying on.
I'm going to make sure that whenever I get in the shower, I have somebody else with me so that they get. I'm just going to grab onto them and turn the knob.
Bubba votes yes.
Exactly. See, it works. He gets boobs. I don't get shocked. It's fine.
Okay, we'll draw a dark curtain over that. We don't need.
We're going to have to put a warning on this episode.
Okay. X card out. We're done.
Does a mention of sanitary products make it PG or R or something? Probably. I'm not au fait with all the exact codes and that.
No, I think it's PG at most. They advertise that stuff on all the time here.
Oh yeah.
I'll just go into the YouTube control panel and turn monetization for this off now.
Hey, who knows? You might get more donations.
Who knows? Yeah, super chat if you guys want to hear more ribaldry and raw talk on this stream. I will for a $10 super. I will say big titty short stack goblin mama.
See, but there you just did it.
Oh, dang it! I did it, didn't I?
Did you know my mama? That's
That
what
was
they
just
called
a
her in high
preview.
school.
It was a teaser.
Oh dear.
It was a
Anyway,
teaser. Just wait till next week.
Moving right along, we are now in the nondescript hotel.
yes.
Yeah.
How long?
Yes.
Well,
You're in a rundown flop house. So
so look at
As
the
they call
paperwork
these
that
movies.
Mr. Baldy gave us
yeah.
and see what it says.
It says that you're not to go back to the ship, and whatever you retrieve from the ship, you're to hand over to the court.
Okay, so that means we got to hand over those tampons.
Hey, I already gave him one.
So,
A used one, huh?
Yes.
That's our personal supply.
so question for the party.
Yes.
Actually, technically question for the DM. When does this document say we have to give those over by?
24 hours.
Like, okay, so is that? So I would presume that's before the court date.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Well, I mean, if they really
Does
want,
it list? What I want to know is, does it list what we've taken? Because we could turn in plenty of tampons, and that might be all they know we've got.
Exactly.
No, it's obviously some sort of legal fishing expedition. You've got enough admin. In the game system, basically, law is just high level admin. But you've got enough admin, Bill, your character, to realize this is just a fishing expedition. He wants to know what the hell.
Yeah.
Can they off the ship.
I mean, I was planning ahead. I have
and
nighttime,
probably...
light, medium flows. I'm good.
God.
And you.
So basically, they're trying
to get your own lawyer. You can probably hold that off anyway.
They're trying to scare us into showing up with everything that we took off the ship and say, "Oh God, sorry, here it is," and we're not going to do that.
Yeah, it's an intimidation tactic. And
I'm gonna.
If you hire your own lawyer, you can probably. Or you could choose to represent yourself.
You know what?
No, I think we should hire a lawyer and let the lawyers duke it out. Because his lawyer is probably not going to want to pursue if he sees us again. So he might have to find somebody else at this point anyway.
Wait a second. If his lawyer doesn't want to pursue because they see us again, this works. That is our favor. That is in our favor.
Sweet Jesus, if Bubba gets us out of this by dint of punching that guy in a drunken rage in a hotel lobby, I don't know. I may never game master again.
Nobody takes Bubba's bedazzled flip-flops.
Volcano
God. The tail.
Volcano God wants to know what's happening right now. Well,
I-
I'm
you're-
not
you're
100% sure myself, Volcano God. But what's happened is that they stole a ship from a criminal, and the criminal has followed them to another world. And he's put in a court order to try to get his ship back. And they went to the
We
ship
have
and they
stolen
retrieved some
nothing.
stuff to try to prove that this guy was a criminal, so that therefore they could keep the ship.
Quink.
Blah blah blah. And the
Allegedly.
the criminal's lawyer has shown up with a piece of paper to tell them cease and desist, don't go on the ship, and retrieve your gear and hand over to the court everything you did. And they decide to punch out the lawyer. It was in their hotel's lobby, so they have now gone to a new hotel.
This
what's
reminds me,
happening.
when you put it that way, this reminds me strikingly of the time a cocaine addict ended up calling the police on his coke dealer because he didn't like the end result.
All right, so I guess we'll wait it out as far as court date.
Well, we need to find our own lawyer.
Yeah, we need to get our own lawyer because that lawyer really probably isn't going to want to deal with us directly.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what he wants or not.
Yeah, but yeah, we might.
Okay, Bill, roll a 1d6. Let's see whose room it was next to.
Well, we have contacts in the area because we've been here for a couple of weeks, so I'm sure we have a couple
the
of.
screen's too small, Bill.
Sorry,
Just say
3.
3.
We probably
Okay,
have
Bubba.
a couple of friends that have recommendations too, though.
The room next to you, Bubba, you hear the light of a suppressed gunshot.
Oh,
And then
it's
a thump.
that kind of part.
And then a thump. A heavy, dull thump.
I beat on the wall and tell them to keep it down in there.
I go over to Bubba's room.
I hope
Why
I'm a couple of rooms away because I don't have to duck them.
Why are you beating on the walls, Bubba?
Because they're over there shooting people next door, and I'm trying to lay down.
That is exactly what.
Oh my god!
All right, the door of that room
next.
next door to Bubba opens, and a guy emerges, and he's putting a pistol in his pocket.
Dude, potato, use it.
And he's wearing a long jacket, puts a pistol in his jacket, and he looks quite familiar. So your door, Bubba's door is open. Bill, he looks quite familiar. It's one of the two guys that you dumped at the bottom of the ship and then took off on.
I thought we scorched him.
I'm jumping him.
Yes, you did think you scorched him.
I'm jumping him.
Ah, fuck.
Okay, roll for surprise.
A 9.
A 9. How'd you get a 9? It's 1d6.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. It was one of those non-Euclidean dice. A 6.
6. Okay, good. All right, so you get one round of surprise.
Are you going to call for help or anything else?
I'm calling and jumping.
Okay.
I'll
So-
step out with a knife.
I
Crew
will
meeting in the
respond.
corridor right now. Attendance mandatory. Oof.
All right.
Well, it's military style. You just call corridor, and then all the recruits come out into the corridor ready for
All right.
inspection. Okay, yeah, roll to hit. You don't have ruling, so it's +0.
That is a 12.
Oh, good. So you hit him. Roll 1d6.
That is a 6. I swear the dice are on fire right now. I'll never get this again. Savor the moment.
Okay. All right. So he is still up. He is still up. And so now it goes to simultaneous actions. Okay, so you can attack him, and he's going to shoot you.
Oh dear.
So he pulls back so that you won't be close in.
Okay. Well, I'm going to look forward so that we will.
Yeah. Oh no, he'll stay close in because he's got a body pistol.
Okay, that's 7.
Oh no, sorry. 7. Okay, yep. So yeah, right. What's your strength? You've got strength 10, so that'll be advantageous strength. So yeah, you got a +1 to hit. So you just hit him. So
Okay.
1d6 again.
A 3.
3. Okay.
+1, right? Or is that just to the roll?
That's just to the roll. So this is
so.
Yeah, so this is your strength and everything makes it easier to hit. Nothing changes the amount of damage you do. It just makes you more or less likely to hit.
It's been a little while, so I was a little rusty.
Yeah, that's all right. So yeah, your stats and your armor and so on don't make you more or less. It doesn't change how much damage it does. It changes how likely you are to hit or be hit. Yeah. So he's still up. But he shoots you and gets you.
Oof.
3 dice minus 3. Okay. So that's 7 points of damage.
Ow.
Ouch. What is that off of endurance?
Okay. So it's a 4 and a 3. So your first one comes off your dex, and the second one comes off your strength.
Okay.
And it's kind of muffled. He's got a silencer on it.
I yell, "Hey, Bubba, this guy said that after he was done with me, your shoes were next."
Bubba already has Lucille out, and I'm fixing to end this dude's life.
Yeah. Any chance Bubba and I can join in and turn this guy into Swiss cheese?
Well, it's a narrow corridor. Remember, this is a rundown flop house. So basically it's just Reggie and whoever's on the other guy's side. But you might all be downstream of him, down the corridor or whatever. So roll 1 die.
I'm just staying out of the way. I'm staying out of the way right now.
Because you might be down the back, and you know what I mean. Like the fight might be occurring down the back.
I'm a
You
5.
would still have to do a gauntlet and go through you all, but so it's still in trouble if you got sufficiently determined.
I rolled a 6.
So yeah, okay. So Bubba, you're immediately. Well, yeah, you'll be immediately behind him. So
I'm a 5.
Because it makes sense that Bubba gets him anyway because he came in front of the room.
Yep.
So he came in front of the room. So Bill goes out and gets him, and then Bubba comes in on the other side. So
I'm just staying out of the way.
Yeah. Well, it's good if you stand in the corridor, any shots that miss Bill or Bubba might hit you. Cool.
I'll stay in the room looking down the hallway then.
Third round. You just poke your head out. Not the curious passerby. Oh, what's going on? All right, third round.
I'm listening.
So again, all actions are simultaneous.
All right, I rolled a total of 8.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, 7. That is a 7 melee against him.
Yeah. So you miss.
And Bubba, since he's using Lucille, I get a +2 to blade combat. This dude's fixing to die.
Okay. Well, you got blade. Wait one. Okay. So you've got a blade. You're in close, so you get a +1 on top of your skill. So that makes it a +3. And
Oh wow!
So you certainly have advantageous strength. Yeah, blades are made for close in, man.
So
you certainly have an advantageous strength, so that's another +1, so it becomes a +4.
okay, well then that's a 7.
+4, and he has no armor, so he gives you another +1, which makes it just hit, so it becomes +5. Yeah, so altogether you got +5 to
so
stab
8
this poor
then.
guy. Yeah. Well, that's what you want, like a skilled blade guy in close with the blade. You know, there's a saying among the paramedics, you know, how do you tell the winner in a knife fight? Well, the winner and the loser in a knife fight. Well, the loser is dead on the scene and the winner dies in hospital later on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if only one of you has a knife, it's very different.
Now,
all right.
When I
your
roll
blade does
damage,
2 dice. Your blade does 2 dice of damage.
okay, and do I add the 2 for blade combat again?
No.
Okay.
No, like I said, nothing changes the amount of damage. It just makes a difference to how likely you are to hit.
I rolled 2 4s, so 8.
8 points of damage. Okay, so that's 4 and 4. Okay, so he will go down.
Yeah, he better. Nobody takes Bubba's bedazzled flip-flops and lives to tell the tale.
He will go down,
What?
but as he's going down, he shoots Reggie. So at the same time as he's being stabbed in the kidneys by Bubba, he shoots Reggie. There's a and Reggie takes 11 points of damage. So that's 5 and 6. So you spread it on one of strength, dexterity, and endurance. So 5 on your endurance, and another 6 on your endurance. So you'll be out, and then it flows on. So 11 points all to your endurance, and then it flows on to one of the others of your choice. Doesn't matter.
Okay. Yeah, well, strength is where I have the most, so 6 off endurance. Yeah, the captain is pretty sleepy, and he's gonna have a lie down.
He's unconscious. Yeah.
Yep,
So
I grab him and I pull him into the room.
Both Reggie and Bruce go down, bleeding.
I grab him, pull him into the room, and then do direct pressure on the thing to get him some help.
You'll have to drag Reggie over the top of the downed Bruce.
That's fine.
That's fine. I'll step on him, really
Willpower.
stop as I'm doing it.
Girl power. I'll help.
We're kicking as we're going.
Drag Reggie down the corridor. So all those sanitary products are going to prove useful.
Yeah, shove them in the bullet holes until we can get him some help.
Hey,
sanitary pads, basically just a bandage.
I do have
Stick-on
medic.
bandage. Yep. With the improvised gear, yep. You were 0.
We've got hot water and clean towels. We're ready.
Bill, are you at 0 at just 1 or 2 of your stats?
I am at 0 in one stat. I was able to soak the other into strength.
Yeah, so he's he'll wake up in 10 minutes with that 0 attribute halfway between 0 and the natural level.
Okay.
Which is what's his natural level?
So
6.
And it's
So
6.
yeah, it'll come back at 6, and then the others will heal in time.
Okay.
So yeah, no medic roll or anything's required.
Okay.
But it would just heal naturally.
But
now this guy is down. Is anyone
we're finishing him. We are finishing him.
oh wait, Bubba yells for the other Marine in the group to come over and help me, and we're going to tie this sucker up, and we're dragging him into my room.
Yeah, I will stop anyone that wants to kill him because we need to have a talk first.
We need information first. We can kill him later.
Information.
And we need to investigate who he shot.
But don't be touching no doorknobs; they'll get your fingerprints for sure.
While they're all talking, to
Use
him,
his hand. Grab him. Drag him over there, unconscious, and use his hand to open the door.
Yeah, that's an excellent idea.
While they're all over there talking and they're going to interrogate him, I'll poke around in the room. I'll throw in a pair of rubber gloves.
Mm-hmm.
Do I see anything poking around?
Oh, right, yeah. So you go in the other room.
Of?
Yeah, there's a dead guy in the other room. He's been shot in the forehead.
Do we recognize him?
No, you don't. You don't know who he is. He's a local.
Check his wallet.
Yeah.
Anything?
No, just some cash.
Okay. Well, I'll take the cash and move on.
Okay.
He has no use for it.
Yeah, he's dead. He's dead. What is he going to do with it?
That's a good point. Very good point.
Drinks are on me tonight.
All right. So you've got Bruce. He's not going to bleed out or anything like that. And in about 10 minutes, he's going to wake up feeling very, very sore and unhappy after having been stabbed in the back.
Well,
I thought he was shot.
Razor, what?
No,
what,
he
what
was.
is-
Bruce was. No. Reggie was shot. Bruce was.
Oh,
stabbed
okay.
by Bubba.
Oh. Well, he's in the other room with our Marines, so.
Mm-hmm. All right, and you can interrogate him in the next session.
Yes. Go. He's going to get interrogated in the next session.
There's a lot of blood and expended brass and stuff in the corridor. There's also some scuffle marks and holes in the wall and stuff because guys were in close combat. But
It's a motel since it was probably there already.
Yeah, the
Yeah. It's just going to match with the rest of the stains on the carpet after a while. Overnight.
Well,
Right,
Quinda
so,
and I.
We finish it there, and then you do the interrogation next week.
Cool.
Quinda and I hog tie this guy hand to ankle, so when he wakes up, he's going to be really uncomfortable.
Yep. Well, he did get stabbed, so yeah, he'll be uncomfortable.
Has anybody here seen John Wick?
Yes.
Yes.
Of course.
I love John Wick.
So while y'all are doing the interrogation, I'm going to take whoever's available, and we're going to John Wick body just clean the scene. Just wipe down
We got
the wall.
bleach.
Yep.
All right.
Well, again, you can handle that in the next session.
Exactly.
Yes. That we shall.
I mean, if we wanted to be completely and totally thorough, as we leave, we'll leave a lit cigarette behind.
You know, it's funny. I had this thought today when I was like, okay, tonight's Traveler. I don't want to be, I mean, I realize it's my show, but I don't want to be like, well, we're going to do this and we're going to do that. But I really should tell the guys it might end up being kind of a boring session because I just want to lay low till the ship's finished and then we'll go to exciting adventures and outer space.
Hey, when you ride the stars with Bubba, you got to expect some fun times, baby.
I wouldn't have dreamed of taking a moment away from you. I would never have said too many times. Let me tell you what. One of my favorite other YouTube channels that isn't this one or the Dungeon Minister or a handful of other ones is Nick Beardia. They're this married couple, and they just read tabletop gaming horror stories that get posted up on various fora. And the number of like it shocks me. Like I guess I've led a very sheltered life for the 40 years I've been gaming. The number of horror stories that are like, and this one guy kept jumping in and saying, "No, you don't do that." And like I literally like at be me at a table. I say, okay, my paladin is going to heal this little girl of her disease. And the guy playing the tiefling furry ranger, half bard, 3/4 drow, 9/10 gelatinous cube steps in and says, no, you don't do that. No, his character doesn't do that. I stop you from doing that because we might need that healing.
How?
Yeah, because we might need that healing later. And like, I never, I just don't do that. I might ask the game master, like Bubba's like, I'm going to go stick my face inside the reactor. I'll be like, can I, before he does that, can I step over there and have a word with him? Something like that. But I would never just say, no, he doesn't do that. But apparently,
Are you sure you want to do that, Spock? Are you sure?
Apparently, it's common enough that like every 7th horror story that they tell involves some player at the table who is basically grabbing the controls out of some other player's hands, as it were, and making them do things. And I don't.
That's an incompetent game master.
Yeah.
Well, and the cleric is like not going to be stopped because they're casting a spell that's been given to them by their deity. So there's not like pausing that.
No, I would not have jumped in for all the world and said he doesn't punch the lawyer. He does not punch the lawyer.
I would have tried to say, "Can I stop him?"
Yeah, no.
Yeah. It would be fair to say, can I stop him, or can I lean forward and go, no, don't do that, and then you sort of do a roll for initiative, like you see him doing a play.
Oh, we're just all cackling here.
No.
Yeah,
and then you step in. That would be fair to say, but just no, he doesn't do that.
The thought to stop him never crossed our minds.
I know, that's the thing. It never.
We're just standing back laughing.
Do we want to stop him?
Yeah, why would we?
Why would we? Volcano God apparently is convinced that our game master is in fact British 90s pop star Morrissey. Could you say shoplifters of the world unite for science? He asks.
When did Morrissey say that? I don't know.
I don't know. It's a line from one of the songs. There you go, Volcano God. So you can decide based on that evidence whether or not we have the Moz. He's not the Moz, he's the Oz. So
Waka.
Always good.
Oh, it's kind of a bummer we can't see the audience though, because then we can feed off of their comments. Of course, that might make it worse, but.
Yeah,
the audience will just be putting their faces in their hands.
Yeah, exactly. If you guys want to see, he said it, Volcano God. He said it. You missed it. Dungeon Minister says, "Howdy, Morrissey." Apparently, he's convinced you are. But
Volcano God, you just have to go back and watch the entire show again.
You'll just have to watch the entire show up to about 55 seconds ago. But for our players, if you're not familiar with, if you just go to the YouTube channel, I'm assuming everybody at the table is subscribed, he said, cracking his knuckles.
Nope. Not subscribed at all.
YouTube? What YouTube?
But if you go to YouTube and watch the live stream, you will actually see what people are saying. So
don't we have a comments tab here in yeah, we have a comments tab here.
Okay, so you guys can. Because is that what you meant, Savvy, when you said you wish you could see or do you mean you actually wish you could see the audience's faces as we play?
No, just a comment. I mean, I see it occasionally, like sometimes, but you do shout outs for some of the stuff and I don't see it. So I don't know if it's just that I'm missing it because it's like really tiny because it's on my phone or what. So.
Oh, if it's on your phone, yeah.
It's going to be easy to miss.
Comments and chats window.
PC Master Race here. I have I got a dual monitor set up. Admittedly, they're not big or very good.
There it is in the comments. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Dungeon Minister says, "Wait, you have a YouTube channel?"
You can pretend I'm blonde today, okay? Today is my blonde day.
You're not missing much, so it's
Yeah. But no, it was a good game tonight, and I thank you very much
I haven't had that
for
in a long time.
for Bubba's intervention on the lawyer. It's moments like these when I wish we could get Ty Beard as a regular on the show for game nights. That would have been hilarious. For those of you who don't know, Ty Beard is a war games designer, but he is also kind of a big wheeler dealer attorney in Texas. And I don't say that by way of insult, but he designed the game A Fistful of Toes. And toes means, in this context, tube launched, optically guided, wire tracked. It's a anti-tank missile. Not toe,
I get it.
yeah,
Yes.
not toe as in end of your foot, finger. But he wrote that war game, and I actually played it in the late 90s with some friends of mine. I never realized when I saw his name pop up in various social, because he did some work for Frog God Games when they had a situation occur that is really not worth going into. But Ty has been on the show a few times because it seems like every 12th person that has anything to do with tabletop role-playing games who is not actually an attorney thinks they're an attorney, and they're going to sue. They're going to sue. I'll sue you. And so when a couple of legal cases have made ripples enough to even splash over here into the old school side of things, we have had Ty on to talk about the various minutiae of some of those legal wranglings, like we did the first time I had him on back, I want to say a year and change ago. Maybe it was just a year ago, possibly 2 years ago. Tracy Hickman and Margaret Weiss had been working on a new Dragonlance series. Now,
I actually talked to him years ago.
We can argue the merits of. No, that's okay. We can argue the merits of Dragonlance as a good or a bad thing for D&D another time, but the fact remains that it was a moneymaker, and they wrote the manuscripts, and towards the end of the production of one manuscript, WotC said, we're pulling out of this and we're not paying you any of the money we told you we were going to pay you, because our sensitivity reader came back and said you were being insensitive. And so the Hickmans sued them, and Ty's assessment at the time, because the court filings are, thank you, Viking Hat, in the comments, he had to go. We will enjoy the after party. But no, the fact is that Wizards of the Coast was leaving money on the table, a lot of money. I see you there, Tonka. They were leaving a lot of money on the table, and the conceit was that some numbskull at Wizards of the Coast was responsible for this, and they were rapidly trying to fix this and undo it. Well, months passed, and they came to an agreement. So we're getting new Dragonlance material by Weiss and Hickman, at least in the form of novels, to kind of wrap up the entirety of the Dragonlance universe. But we had Ty on to kind of explain that to us and go through the court document after I had gone through it in my own kind of amateur way. And then he was on again when Brain Trust over at TSR3 decided to sue Wizards of the Coast because they were meanies or something. I just think he's an old school gamer, and I think he'd get a kick out of this stuff, but he's an attorney first. So it's like, hey, we're doing discovery. That could go till 9 o'clock tonight, kind of thing would keep him off the, regularly scheduled gamers list, unfortunately. To paraphrase the saying, I guess being an attorney is long stretches of boredom punctuated by hours of sheer bureaucracy.
Right. Except for you want to know the worst part about being an attorney, though?
What's that?
Well, actually, it's the best part. You shove off all of the boring shit.
Oh my gosh!
Okay.
Somebody flew in and tackled TK.
No, I'm fine. That was me knocking my snowball.
Okay.
But no, they shove off all of the boring bureaucratic shit on paralegals. My aunt is a paralegal, and so the person that has to do all the paper fetching and like 9/10 of the paperwork and like manage the clients is all paralegal. The lawyers just get the fun part.
Yeah, he's actually, when Ty has been on other people's streams, he actually had on Nick Ricada's show, he sent his he had his 3 paralegals, as Valkyries, he called them, come in and talk, and it was hilarious because they were actually, he had gotten them to read enough Warhammer 40K lore. When they went on Nick's show, they were actually able to talk a little bit of Warhammer 40K with Nick, and I thought that was a riot because they were sweethearts. That was good stuff. But no, it'd be great if I could. Honestly, the laundry list of people I would love to have on the games, in addition to you guys. That's not a patch on anyone here. Not like if I could get rid of you guys and have better people on. That's not what I'm saying. We'd have a dozen plus players every session, in addition to y'all. But the world just doesn't work that way, unfortunately. So,
well, also, I think your best friend would kill you.
My co-host.
Yes, Kyle would.
Yeah, if I told him all of a sudden I had 9 additional people that wanted to play Traveler on Wednesday nights, he'd be like, nope, we're not doing that.
Yeah,
but no, I dig this, and I was just thinking about this today because I don't want to launch into the particulars because it's all up here. I had an absolute shit day, and I really needed to laugh. I really needed the laughs, and both Game Master and fellow players provided it. So tonight was loads of fun. Trust me.
My God, that was probably the most fun I've had in a long time.
I know.
Female hygiene products, huh?
Well, hats off to you, Razor. That line killed me.
Right? Oh, come on, man. That was great. Tonka stole the show, though. Tonka stole the show tonight. So I
put it out there in chat. I just had to.
Yeah. And Tammy's probably just sitting over there quietly going, why did I sign up for this? Why did I sign up for this?
Oh no, I couldn't stop laughing. It was like I had one of those days, and it was just like, oh, I really thought I wanted to kill something, but no, actually, I just wanted to laugh.
Yeah. The silenced pistol shootout in the hallway was kind of a nice, a nice little dash of Tabasco sauce on the game. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. Kyle is he's an excellent game master, and he makes his worlds and campaigns live and breathe.
I think he doesn't know what he's going to expect next from us.
Remember, no game master plan ever survives contact with players.
Nope, never does.
Nope.
So is it other than myself? I mean, I have the Monday night game that I currently play in, which was another fun one. I almost wish that the dark stuff had happened Monday day, and because that would have been a perfect fit for Monday, and then. Because Monday I got to play AD&D first level paladin, and we started going through goblins like a weed whacker. It was just ridiculous amounts of fun. One of the best games I've ever played, and it was a case of most people, and I include myself in this column, need years to become good DMs. I have refined and honed my skills to 5th Dan of DMing, but Ironically, our current Monday night DM is named Dan.
Ah.
He played with us for a few years. He'd never DM'd, and he approached me late last year, or may have even been early this year, and said, I want to DM for a while. And I was like, let me figure out when that can happen. And it worked out just perfectly that my wife needing to convalesce for a while, and me being kind of out of my figurative head with taking care of that, and not being able to have my head in role-playing games for 11 hours a day. So it worked out perfectly. And he's just one of those guys. He's one of two people I have ever met who just seem to have been born into it. The other is my friend Stacy Laware. She said, I'll DM a game for your birthday once. This was many years ago. And didn't just like pick up a module and run it. She designed her own adventure to run for my birthday after she'd played AD&D with us for 2 years as her only tabletop role-playing experience. And that she is the other that I know in my personal circle of friends just picked up DMing and ran with it. But what are you guys running, Council of Doom nerds?
I play twice with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I do that so I can be a player, typically. I was running part of a Friday game, but I had to drop out of that because of my thesis. But I run a game every Saturday that Todd should be running. And yes, I'm gonna out you here, you asshole. But all fun aside, a friend of mine runs Call of Cthulhu every other week, and then I finally switched to run DMing every other week because Todd's not playing because of his wife, cough cough, something dog, something. Anyway,
I'm sure it has nothing to do with the fact that college football is now in session.
Yeah, I know, right? Totally nothing to do with it. So yeah, that's what we do. We sadly we don't play AD&D. We play Basic Fantasy, which is an OD&D retro clone. Why am I saying that? I don't know what it is. But I love it.
How about you, Razor? What are you doing? Are you DMing anything, game mastering anything?
Oh yeah. I game master 2 separate travelers. Every other Tuesday, I do one. I use Mongoose 2nd edition.
Okay.
With slight modification to the Starship combat. And that one's online. And then every other Sunday, in fact, this Sunday it'll happen, I do an in-person at a game store traveler game. And that one is where I've got up to 9 people that actually have characters.
Only if they show. I'm just going to state that because we have a big table, but not everybody shows.
This is true. And I will state for the record, I believe 4 of those are actually women.
Excellent.
That is true. Hey, tell them what we named the ship. For
Sunday the lollipop.
Yes.
I'm the captain. I'm Captain Pinky,
and
I have them. I had a person start painting lollipops outside on the ship, and so then he bought a robot so that he could actually just send the robot out to paint the lollipops.
Because
so are you doing the Wizard of Oz theme?
Lollipop.
No, we just always have these unique names. Like the ship I blew up was the Purple Fury, and
either that or Shirley Temple, huh?
Well, the one on Tuesday. Tell them the name of the one Tuesday. I had nothing to do with this name.
Oh, the Earth, Wind, and Fur.
Yeah, Earth, Wind, and Fur. And they wanted to figure out how they could put a tail on the ship.
Yes. They wanted a tail on the ship.
Yep. Attach a tail to go through the flying. Yeah.
Did you? Oh man,
Anytime y'all need Bubba to show up to punch those folks in the face, just let me know.
Okay.
I like that.
Yeah. We have a almost Bubba in our group. He likes to push buttons though.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Buttons are fun. I will admit,
Ye-
buttons are fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
He pushed the button and unleashed about 40 drawing warriors out of stasis, looking at them saying, "Ooh, lunch."
Well,
So
how about you, Zeph? Are you running anything or playing in anything else?
Well, I don't run anything. It's been some time since I've run stuff, but I am playing. I was in a D&D group for a couple of years during COVID, but that's kind of on a hiatus. And I was doing a play-by-mail. What the heck was it? Twilight 2000 for a while. I
Mhm.
do play in a Saturday group, and we kind of take turns who DMs, and we changed the games up. We did Morgborg. We did Star Wars. We did Call of Cthulhu.
Mm-hmm.
We did a couple others, and now we're doing like this Morgborg in space kind of thing. Oh, we did Aliens too a couple of times.
Cool. The leading edge aliens or the new one from Free League?
I think it was the classic one.
Right on. Right on.
So yeah. So we keep changing up. We decide we do until we finish basically like a module or whatever kind of thing. And then we decide what we're going to do. And we have 3 of the group that actually will take turns on who DMs. So that way one person isn't stuck doing it all the time and they get to rotate and play. And depending upon who's there that week too, will kind of determine if we change up the game or not. Because 2 of our members are actually from England, so we do play Saturday mornings.
Right on. Right on. I've the Monday night game has been going since 2014. Yeah, the Monday night game's been going in some form for 2014. Same Greyhawk campaign. Different players. One player's been there for almost the entire run. Aurora. Hello, Aurora, if you're out there. Came in 2015. Kyle started in that group, but the fact that I play on Monday nights, at the time he would be tending to his kids back then, just didn't work out. But Kyle actually ran us on some of those nights, ran a few games, and we played Aftermath for a little while. The old FGU post-apoc game that basically the game master picks a scenario: nuclear war, biological plague, comet hit the earth, alien invasion, just general, like all the oil runs out, break down to society level stuff. And then it gives you rules for survival and all that sort of thing. And so we did that for a few sessions, and darn it, I wish we could have finished that up. It was a lot of fun. But ever since then, on Monday night, I've had that Greyhawk game going, and it's been oodles of fun. We've had as many as 15 players. We currently have 2 on hiatus, so it's just 9. Or no, I'm sorry, we have 3 on hiatus, so it's just 9. But yeah, we've had as many as
that's a big group, yeah.
Yeah, we've had as many as 15. I've DM'd 20 plus at conventions.
Oh, God.
In single games, and it is a lot of work. It is a lot of work. But
do you use callers when you have like over 9? Do you use callers to kind of help simplify?
Believe it or not, on Discord, it's actually pretty easy. People know that if there's a bunch of crosstalk, it just kind of crushes my ears and it doesn't help. So people are pretty good about taking their turns. It's actually easy to game master a bunch of people in Discord, and by a bunch, I mean over, say, 6 or 7, than it would be in person. Now, I wish everybody at my virtual table, hell, my virtual tables, plural, we could all meet face to face. But my Monday night group is, I have the Pacific Northwest contingent, There's a number of people up in the PNW, and I have a few people in the Midwest. I have some people, including Tracy Lesh, the OD&D artist, lives just up the highway from me a little ways, down here in Central Florida. So it doesn't work that, we could ever get face to face. But as far as a caller goes, I use them at conventions. I use them at conventions, but generally speaking, at home, I find that most people have got it all in one sock, and I don't really need a caller.
And then just kind of going back to the free league, I am on a Discord channel, and we do kind of like one-offs, usually either 1 or 2 session kind of thing, going through a free league rotation of different games. So.
Yeah, I found
so it's kind of interesting.
Tales from the Loop is a very charming game. Although I threw out their locations, like, oh, you can run it in Sweden, or you can run it in this completely made up town in the American Southwest. Or how about I run it in Central Florida, because I lived in Central Florida in the very early 1980s. So if I tell my party, yeah, you spend the afternoon at Game Street USA, which is just across the street from Evans High, and just across the street from that is the strip mall that's got the TG&Y in it, where you buy your Dungeons and Dragons books and your Atari cartridges. It's because it was all there. I can picture that in my mind's eye. And for the high-tech stuff that comes up with loop technology, I mean, since the 60s, Central Florida, from Tampa all the way to the East Coast, the Space Coast, that whole belt, we've been high tech. So I just have to pick a company. Martin Marietta. Guess what? Martin Marietta is doing loop technology stuff, and it's causing these events. And it's easy to go. But I do like Tales from the Loop for that. It's a very charming, fun, it's a stress-free game, Like, everything is a wonderment. You don't have to worry about, well, my character could die. Because it ain't like that. And that's good. I like that. But I haven't tried any of their other stuff. I haven't well, no, I take that back. I have played as a player their Aliens RPG, which is mechanically built on a similar system. And the Aliens RPG that my buddy, who is Volcano God, who was in here, convinced that Kyle is Morrissey. Volcano God was running that for a while, and that was fun. But yeah, lots of diverse games, lots of fun stuff out there.
Definitely.
For sure. So, well, oh my gosh, it's 10:24. Well, I think we're probably going to go ahead and wrap up for the evening, folks. Thank you all for coming by and gaming. I don't want to see you on Discord tomorrow, Todd, unless you're updating me on something. He knows what I'm talking about. I'm serious about that. But I also hope you noticed my shirt. This is my adopted team, the UAPB Golden Lions.
It's funny. They're down in my neck of the woods. They ain't but like an hour and a half, 2 hours from me.
Oh, there you go.
Down here is about an hour and a half, 2 hours from me.
Yeah,
I'm in a geological anomaly.
It's like this space-time thing, The same is true of Orlando. I mean, there's a meme that I saw actually in some place that had nothing to do with Orlando. And I know this won't mean anything to 90% of the people listening, but out on Interstate 4, which is kind of the main east-west artery across Central Florida, close to Metro Orlando, but still far enough away that Metro Orlando is kind of a fuzzy gray patch in the distance, there is a pedestrian crosswalk. And on that crosswalk, it says, "Welcome to Orlando, the city beautiful." And somebody took a picture of cars stuck in traffic sitting right there because I-4 goes bumper to bumper, and it's terrible. Just took a picture of that with Orlando as this gray blotch in the distance, and it says, "Traffic is so bad in Central Florida, even when you're in Orlando, you're still an hour from Orlando." And it's absolutely true. It's absolutely true. So yeah. It's kind of the opposite effect. Everything in Orlando is an hour or two from everything else, but an hour and 40 minutes of that is spent sitting on the 417, the 408, or I-4. You ain't going anywhere fast in this town on the street. It is faster for me to fly from Orlando International Airport to Chicago than it is for me to drive to Orlando International Airport to get on a plane to fly to Chicago. But anyway, I about this time every evening, folks, and I'm sure you all are aware of this, but if you're new to the show, first of all, if you came here and you're not completely freaked out by this flying circus tonight with bedazzled space workers and tampon firefights, please click that subscribe button and click the bell icon for notifications, because you want more of this. Tomorrow night, we'll be back. We're going to deep dive more on I-1, Dwellers of the Forbidden City. Friday night, we're going to continue that, but then at 9:30 on Friday night, we will continue session 2 of 4 of a very special Let's Play event, Let's Play Call of Cthulhu. Which of our investigators will survive and what will be left of them? Tune in Friday at 9:30 and find out. And I hope you'll do that. And also, you may have noticed, and the crab is pointing to it right down there, you can support the channel on Subscribestar. You can buy me a coffee. You can also support us on Patreon if you want, if you've seen those scrolling across. And there are some folks who choose to do that. And so I say thank you from the bottom of my heart to them, because it quite literally helps pay the bills around here. All right. It doesn't always buy me role-playing game materials to show off to you guys, or a new camera or something like that. So let me say extra special thanks to Joshua Garlock, Lord Corion, Ricky Maru, Mobius, Kevin Reynolds, Doomsword Deathmaster, Mark Simpson, Damien 247, James F. Keck, William Smith, The Dungeon Minister, Manny Wall, Mark Corey, Kevin Wood, Todd Sharp, the increasingly frighteningly named Carnivore Farmer, Rob, Jeremy Rule, Bo Canora, Mikey Mank, Sky Hernstrom, that's Sky Hernstrom, the fantasy author, Pete Sullivan, the DM's Council, and Baron Von Headbanger. I thank all of you from the bottom of my heart for your assistance in keeping things going. Send money and I will be your friend. Oh my gosh, I don't even know. Kyle is just straight up demanding your supers there. But anyway, so
fealty. The term is fealty.
Fealty. Today's vocabulary word is fealty. So thank you to my players, thank you to our watchers, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night. They'll see you all next week. Have a wonderful day. I love you all. Take care of yourselves.
Good night, everyone.
Night.
Boo-bye.